Hey y'all, it's June the 8th, 2015. I just made a very long set of videos where I was rambling on about stuff, including the joys of giving life and providing life as a human being who can do that in many different ways. I was inspired to cover closer on what it is I'm doing as far as vegetation and a food source and giving life to things. This right here is basically all what I got going right now. It's a little bit late in the planting season, uh, but this right here is pretty much a minimalistic kind of personalized size garden. Now, a lot of y'all's excuses for not starting a garden or being afraid to start one is you might say, well, I don't have enough money, all right? Gosh dang it, I don't make a lot of money. There's no way I could do this and invest that much into it. And another excuse would be like, man, I don't have that much time. My work, I work like 60 hours a week and blah, blah, and I have a girlfriend and all sorts of things. I just don't have time to be able to do this. Now, both those excuses are uh, both those excuses are just unacceptable. I'm going to say that to you right now because I'm going to show you exactly right now how you could do it, especially if you don't even have that much time or money. Here's a garden right here that I started. Now, what you're seeing is trays, these little black trays, and they come with little things that you can plant little plants in. You know what I'm saying? These ones come in the dozens. I got some pots right here behind me. And what this is growing is like tomato plants, and there's some bean plants, and I want to say there's some onion plants and zucchini plants, and I think there's some lettuce plants and stuff that just haven't popped up yet. All right, and right here, what I have in my hand is Survival Seed Vault. Right, it's done by My Patriot Supply. You can find it at mypatriotsupply.com. All right. Now this container is filled with a shit ton, a whole goddamn mess of seeds. All right. Not only that, most of the dang seeds, guess what, are heirloom. If you don't know what heirloom means, is that I never had to buy the seeds ever again in my life. The vegetables will just keep giving me seeds, and forever I will have seeds, therefore making it free. All right, and that scares the government. It scares a whole lot of people when you start doing stuff for free. When you start feeding yourself for free and all sorts of stuff, that's what this does. All right, and you consider this with a crap load of seeds. I won't even be able to plant all these seeds for probably a couple years. I, I mean, it's that many, and in all these trays and in these pots, all that in and say the water that it took to water them, because I get purified water, and I'll explain to you why in a second. But all that included probably costed probably about the amount that it would take to go to a decent burger joint and maybe take a date with you in case if you had a date and you wanted to pay for it. Two people for y'all to go and then maybe even give a tip or whatever, it's going to cost less to put all what I had put together right here than it will to do that one time. So financially, that's something to think about. You really don't have no excuse. All right. And as far as time goes, a lot of this just takes care of itself. That's how God made it. You start the process and then God goes ahead and grows it for you. If you know what you're doing or you can follow simple directions, it's not going to take you a whole lot of time. All right. As far as money, here's the thing about it. I bought these trays, right? I bought these pots. They were next to nothing. They hardly costed anything at all. They almost gave them to me for free at the damn store. That's how little they costed. Might be thinking about certain aspects and just uh, are unfamiliar. Here's the thing: if you're starting a little garden like this, and you're gonna realize you're gonna need pots about this size or maybe even bigger, if you plan to always keep it in a pot, you're gonna start thinking about all sorts of things like, oh man, I have to buy dirt now. I have to buy dirt and go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever and have them give me special dirt. Yeah, that's preposterous. Don't ever buy dirt. What in the world? If you have a garden about this size, or even bigger than this, there is no excuse to ever, ever, ever buy dirt. You're retarded. You're being retarded, right? Don't buy dirt because what you're gonna do is go outside your house where the sun is shining, wander around, and you aren't gonna wander around very far until you find a payload of dirt. Now, you might want to look for ditches or ravines or little things where you know if it rains, the dirt will slide in and collect and create loose mud. That's probably what you're going to be looking for. Something like that, where loose mud collects and you'll have all sorts of rocks and things up in your dirt. Get that dirt, and guess what? That's free. Nobody can stop you from doing that. Uh, don't ever buy dirt. See, you're making it more complicated than it actually is. You can have all these plants and never ever buy dirt. Not only that, you might think, oh man, but what about fertilizer? You know, I gotta buy nutrients or whatever. I had to go to Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever, and I gotta buy special nutrients to put up in it, and that's gonna cost more money. No, all right, you're being crazy. Because let's assume that you're eating food right now. Now, unless you're eating bag after bag after bag of Dorito chips, I mean, if you thought about it at all, what you're eating is probably whole foods. Now, when you eat whole foods, not only are you getting as much or way more nutrients than other types of foods like Dorito chips, but inevitably there's going to be waste. There's going to be parts of stuff that you don't eat. And what you're going to do is throw them in the damn garbage, like you're throwing money into the damn garbage. Uh, I mean, here's an example right here. I just started actually this today. It's very easy. I mean, as far as small plants, you only need so much nutrition to give them. You're going to see them blossom and get real big on you by giving them a little bit of simple nutrients. Now, you don't need special nutrients that you buy from the store. You're just throwing your money away. You're throwing your money two ways away because now you're throwing all your garbage away, and now you're buying someone else's garbage in a bag for nutrients for your plants. Now, here's a little example. Damn thing got ants in it. Wait, right here. I put it in a jar. What happened is I took avocado peels and banana peels and coffee grinds and if you can burn things, which I'm not really at liberty to do. um, if you can burn things, you go ahead and put the ash up into your little store. Now you can have it of any sort of size. I put it in a little damn jar, so obviously you don't have to have a great amount of space or money to be able to do this. You just get a jar and start grinding it up in there. Grind up all the stuff and do it on the daily. Like do like maybe 2 times a day, and it's gonna take no time at all. Throw some water in there, grind it up, keep grinding it up. What that's gonna do is create nutrients that you can use to fertilize your plants, thereby not spending any money at all, not losing any money at all. And you can constantly do it. As soon as these plants start growing and stuff, you're gonna eat them. Guess what? They're gonna have waste, and you grind that up. It's a never-ending free cycle of food, is what I'm talking about. You might think, oh man, I had to build beds for the gardens if I choose to put, you know, them in the ground and things. And that's going to cost more money. You really just need to be creative. There's no way in America that you're not going to be able to find the materials to be able to put together simple beds for free. If you just, you know what I'm saying, look around for a split second, it's not going to cost you any sort of money. What I'm basically saying is that in a garden like this, as small as this is, and I do intend to maybe grow it bigger, but a garden this size that'll be well enough for your needs, it is going to cost almost nothing to do it. So there really is no excuse, and uh, as long as you can, I mean, the biggest thing that you might spend on a garden is you might want to think about um, putting fencing around it as far as animals go and stuff. But even that, if you're just creative about it, you can do it for not very much money at all. There is hardly any money that goes into this. Not only is it not going to take us that much of your time, but you're going to notice as you start doing it that your hormones begin to mix with the plants, and you're giving life to them, and you're nurturing them, and you're giving vibes back and forth. you're just going to automatically start feeling better when you garden. And a lot of people have said this and documented it to great detail of how the human interaction with the plant is beneficial for both parties. So, I mean, all right, these are the last days of America, all right? Make a garden as a kind of, I mean, as an act of rebellion. I mean, to be honest, people like they don't even really think about rebellion. They think about it as like dyeing your hair crazy colors and doing it all sorts and dressing all sorts of ways that cost all sorts of money, and that's the way that they rebel. But when you could literally just start making a never-ending free food supply for yourself easily. Anyways, it's June the 8th, and I just wanted to cover that, and I'll go ahead and I'll keep you updated on this garden because I know the little baby plants, you're gonna want to see them when they're bigger, and so I'm gonna keep you updated. Holler, holler back, y'all.